Let me restart my phone, see if that works.
Serenity, you rescued me from the storms I used to chase. I found your voice in quiet waves. In stillness, I found grace. No more chains and no more plea. I am who I'm meant to be. At last I breathe serenity.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going
Ah.
okay. Things are going
Where you-
okay.
Yeah,
With
Alpha,
my
I don't
beautiful
see you.
face. My beautiful
Yeah.
face. It'll be there soon. Just having a little bit of technical difficulties. Wouldn't be a Friday if we didn't have those.
No, it wouldn't. But, I think you're definitely outnumbering my technical difficulty. So, yeah, guys, this one is not my fault. Been really trying to wait till Alpha was up and running. But, we're going to get the show going, and hopefully he'll get it fixed on the road. So, want to say, hey, everybody. Glad you made it back. And I am so sorry we didn't make it last Friday. But it's one of those, as I always say, family comes first. And Wild Angel was flying in after being gone all week. So I made sure to be there at the airport, picking her up, escorting her home, made sure she made it home safe, and give her some extra love. So she is back, and she will be joining us as soon as she gets home eventually. Hopefully there's no more car wrecks out on the freeways today. So we should see her soon. So,
Oh
yes.
no, it's stuck in traffic or something.
Oh, yeah, yesterday was bad. There were three wrecks on the freeway back to back to back. Standstill. It was screwed for hours. So, yeah, it took her like an hour and a half to get home. Usually takes like 20 minutes. Like, wow.
God,
Yeah, she took the side streets all the way. It was insane. So, want to say hi? CL2560. Good to have you, buddy. Welcome to the show. And we got Wild Angel says, hello, almost there. Okay, hope so. Party can't start till all the pretty ladies are here. So, I think I am next in line. Oh, that's good. Yeah, she stopped to get stuff for dinner. Don't forget to click go live. Well, hey, we're here. We're live. Sorry you're not here yet. Yeah, it isn't. And definitely, yeah. Well, things like, yeah, it sucked. It was bad. I heard all about it. But, it's interesting because in times like that, we can look at it as, I have stuck in traffic. But you know what? Like I was telling Wild Angel, thank God you weren't one of the three reasons that traffic existed. So it can always be worse. Sometimes those bad situations, you got to look for a little bit of the silver lining because it can always get worse. Look at the market, look at the government. Yeah, we'll dive into that here in a second. Yeah, true, exactly. It can always be worse. But tonight's topic is actually kind of inspired by that and by a lot of the things that have happened just over the last couple weeks to many people here in my family and also out in the crypto world that I've talked to. And we're going to talk about random opportunities that are echoes of yesterday's efforts. So a lot of times when we look at things, these random opportunities are things that pop up in our life and people call us lucky. It's like, oh, you're so lucky that happened to you. My brother hates me for it. He says I do it all the time. But the question is it really luck or is it just an echo of the rewards from the efforts you put forth in the past? Did all these good things, whether it was working hard, doing kind gestures, whatever it was, and now that is being rewarded. Maybe there's no correlation. Maybe there's not. I don't know. We're going to find out what you guys think tonight once we start diving into this because we got some pretty impressive examples tonight that's happened to a lot of people. I know Wild Angel, something very exciting happened down in Kansas City. I know CK's got some great information for us. And we might even have a couple of surprise guests who will just crash our party later on. We'll see how it goes.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's going to be fun. So first of all, let's start with the crazy and the stupid because, man, if you're here, you're in the crypto space more than likely, and you know just how screwed up shit has been. It's crazy. But good news. Oh, yeah, it is. Good news. The U.S. government is back up and running again as of Wednesday, November 12th, after a record-setting 43 days. Seriously? Yeah. And nothing came out of that. Well, a whole lot of stupid came about, but we don't want to get into that too far because I'll get my blood pressure up and everybody be screaming and throwing things. It's stupidity across the world. It really is. Alpha, you should be so happy you are not here in the United States dealing with the insanity that exists.
That's fine. I have my own insanity to deal with, so I'll stick with mine. It's cool. Okay.
You sure, man? You sure? I'm with it. Yeah.
I'm very sure. I'm very sure. Let me just deal with my insanity instead. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure you watch the news, and I bet people in South Africa are looking at us Americans go, you guys are stupid. What the hell is going on over there? And I'll tell you straight up, something that nobody's going to tell you, we don't have a freaking clue. Not a one of us. None of us little people knows what the hell anybody is doing higher up. They don't tell us. You know what's really funny about this? I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Don't Look Up. We talked about it a long time ago. The whole concept is the meteor is going to hit the planet, and so everything about the media is telling you don't look up. They're trying to distract you and play games. But have you noticed over the last 2-3 months, everything in the media has been, this 31A Atlas comet is going to hit the Earth. It's a spaceship. It's aliens. Now they're telling you to look up because they don't want you to look around and see just how screwed up everything else is. Yeah, that's my theory. I don't know, tinfoil hat moment, but I think it's the opposite of don't look up. It's like, please God, look up and don't look around what we're doing to you and your civil rights and everything. Yeah, don't get me started. Have you noticed that too, Alpha? Is in South Africa, have they just been pushing everything about that comet and how it could be aliens and broadcast, or is that just here in America? I think we lost Alpha. I don't know. Alpha? He broke it. That's it. Okay, I'm flying solo till Alpha shows back up. So let me know in the chat. Have you guys noticed that, or is that just me being paranoid? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We need an adult. Yeah, we do need an adult because Lord knows I'm not one. The government definitely needs some adult supervision because we did half the shit they did when we were kids. We would have been beaten to death. They wouldn't have ever found our bodies.
There we go.
Wouldn't you?
I can't,
welcome back.
I can't anymore. The tech is a problem tonight.
Stop touching shit, man. All you're doing is breaking it, making it worse.
Anyway, I haven't heard much of it in South Africa. No, I think people just don't give a damn. Honestly, it's just like, oh, if the world ends, the world ends. If the world doesn't end, well, cool, I guess. Nothing's gonna change.
There you go. Nah, it's ending anyway. I mean, we're working on it. Atlas, the return of God. Could be. I don't know. Man, CK, all the news articles and everything that's been going around, I'm really kind of thinking that's what they were doing. Is they were just doing this whole deflection campaign. But you know me and my tinfoil hats, so I'll get off my soapbox. Let's move back on so we get this party started tonight. So also on the same day, interesting correlation. The exact same day the government opens back up was the last day the U.S. penny was minted. Right. Same day, November 12, 2025, ended 232-year tradition of pennies. There will no longer be a penny being minted anymore. They'll still be in circulation, but yeah, pennies are gone. That ought to tell you something. Hey, Derek, good to see you. I work with a lady who thinks all conspiracies are true. Oh, I'll bet you have lots of fun. I should talk to her. This could be a lot of fun. I'll be that guy who just winds her up with all these crazy notions and sets her loose in the store. Like, there you go, have fun. It'd be a good time.
I remember seeing a video about the penny thing. I was like, oh, wow. That's actually a long time to be printing pennies. I'm like, okay, that's cool, though. You know,
right.
Everywhere has to stop printing money eventually.
They should start with the bigger bills, the ones that the rich people use.
They really should.
That's just my opinion.
and they shouldn't do what SA does, where every few years or so, they decide, oh no, this money is outdated, we need a new standard, and then boom, reprints everything. It's just like,
yeah,
why was that needed?
Yeah, we don't want to even get into the craziness. I just found it very interesting, the correlation. Same day the government comes back, the penny is gone. Makes sense. It costs almost 4 cents per penny to make 1 penny. So, yeah.
What?
Yeah. Almost 4 cents is what it costs to make 1 penny.
Oh, that is insane. What the fuck?
We've been doing this for years. Welcome to America, pal. Yep. Exactly. What? So, have we improved on Roma's mandatory policy?
Monetary.
Oh, monetary. Okay. I'll learn to read one of these days, CK. I don't know if we've improved on anything. I think we're just making shit worse, man. I really do. I learned about random facts several years ago. Yeah, exactly, so. It's totally more the same. I agree. No wonder we're in debt. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So some good news though. November 13th, the first U.S. spot XRP ETF has been approved and is trading on the NASDAQ. So we're seeing more adoption, more crypto is moving to mainstream. Now, I'm kind of curious, what do you guys think? Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing for the long-term game? Or does it just mean that big money is now going to manipulate our little crypto space that we were all hoping to decentralize and do some serious growth in? Are our dreams totally shot? Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? What do you think, Alpha?
It's weird because ETFs barely ever do anything, to be honest. Like people tend to see it as this most bullish thing, but for me, I'm just like, you could buy it before. It's just a different way of buying it. So I don't really see it moving the needle. But if it did, then it wouldn't be in favor of the common people. It's not going to be in our favor. It's going to be in the favor of people with a lot more money. So, like, again, what's the point of celebrating something when the benefit is all going to go to people with money already?
Yeah, big corporations. Exactly. It just opens the door for them. And yeah, that's a whole nother discussion by itself. So, we could go down that rabbit hole for days. And I know we got... Oh my God, look, Alpha's here. Welcome to the show, Alpha.
It's finally working, kind of. I have to be very delicate with it tonight.
It only took you half an hour to get that thing to work, man. Don't touch nothing. Just sit back, just sit like this for a screen.
I'm gonna just let it be. I'm gonna just let it be.
I like it. Cat Daddy. Okay, so quick rundown of the overview over the week. So market overview. So BTC has dropped below 97,000, down over 14% from its all-time high. Ethereum is trading around 3217. By the way, I put these numbers up this morning. They're probably a lot worse by now. So this is what it was at about 5 hours ago. Don't give us any more bad news, Alpha. Just leave me in my dreamland, wait. We had over 463 million in long positions were liquidated in the last 24 hours, and the global crypto market cap fell by 3.5%, now at 3.4 trillion. So it brings about some serious questions about are we moving into a bull market? It was at the end of the bull run. I mean, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think?
Damn, extreme. Yeah. Damn.
Oh yeah, I got an image for that one. So now we've also seen a serious increase in airdrop and DeFi news. We just had ore that skyrocketed over the last couple weeks, and now it's starting to go back down. The night scavenger hunt is on and running in full force. Now, I put out a video earlier this week walking through how to use hardware you've already got to get it up and running. And last night I spent some time and I put it in the Down Home Crypto Discord. For the record, I am not a coder, but I did spend some time figuring out how to go to Core AI and rent a GPU server and put their processing power to work. Now, the reason I chose Core is because they're about half the price of Avast. Now, I am not a coder, and I can tell you I ran into two major glitches that I never could figure out, so I just kicked it to the side and got a new server. But let's go and bring this up. So, yeah, I've been running 4 versions of the Midnight Miners, and the entire step-by-step guide is in the general chat there. I'm not charging for the information. I probably won't even make a video for it. It's just for you guys who are watching this. So if you haven't already, make sure to join the Down Home Crypto server because we're always sharing the good information there. But I can tell you that, yeah, so far on my one miner, I've got 4 of them in 14 hours, earned 856 night tokens. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, it cost me about $1 to rent the server for 24 hours. So less than $1, 856 tokens. All going to depend on what the token price is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, hey, it's worth putting in a little bit of work. Yeah,
that's the problem. You don't know the token price. You don't know the token price of these. It's kind of like it's a situation where you could be spending $1 every day, but you don't even know if you'll make that $1 back. I mean, a good example is Aztec Network, which is a privacy layer 2. People were like running servers or nodes, whatever it is, for months. I think it's like 2-3 years or whatever. None of them got anything out of it, and they're going to TGE. Nothing. They got nothing. None of those people running those servers got nothing. No airdrops, no rewards. They're doing a public sale. No benefit for that either. Everyone can get in the public sale. Yet the people that have been literally spending money for years get nothing.
Nothing.
So it's like,
And
okay.
and we've had some of those. I've covered some of those, like Rainmaker. That was probably one of my biggest disappointments. I mean, in the app, it was showing, hey, you're going to make $2,000. It's awesome. And then when they go to TGE, it's like, you wait, it said for $2,000. Oh, that was just a speculative. It wasn't the real number. Real number is $100. It's like, do you know how many hours I spent in this app clicking every single day and doing tasks? And it's like, seriously? I could have went and watched Windows and made more money than that. But, we never really know. But we've had other ones like Nubolo, which I put on my roof and forgot about for a year and cashed out $100 and some odd. Like, okay, that works. That's only 25%. That's not bad. Bad. It's a give and take kind of thing. And hey, you got it working. I did. But like I put in the description, there's 2 places in code where it just kicked out an error. I tried to use AI to solve it, never could. So I put that in the instructions. However, I did put at the bottom, if any coders out there can fix it, alpha, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Let me know and I will rewrite it or whatever. But yeah, right now it's just for you guys who are watching. Jump to the Down Home Crypto Discord and check it out. So we are seeing a lot of those. We're seeing Ore. I was actually been playing with Boar. I don't know if you guys heard of that. It just launched 2 days ago. It's just like Ore. Same. They call it mining. In my opinion, it's gambling. It straight up is. Yes, you are. That's the only way to get the tokens because they are released for the players. But who knows? Ore did a huge spike. It went from $35 to $600 in like 2 weeks. Now it's back down to like 110. Well, hey, if we can get in early and get started on it, that might be worth it. Put a few bucks in and see how it plays out. But that is totally your call. Like I always say, don't listen to me or anybody else. Do your own research and decide for yourself. But if you... Oh, look, somebody just popped in backstage. But if you have been following my X account, you've probably seen me announce this a couple times, throw some posts out. And this is what it looks like. I'll just give you a quick glimpse. And it's at boar.supply. Same kind of thing. 21 grids instead of 25 that Ore had. They have the motherload, which is currently rated at $603. And you can see there's like 3 people in each square. Not many people are playing it. I racked up about 8,000 Ore, which that puts that at what, about $400? Not bad. I've been playing with like the same $50 over the last 2 days. So, yeah. In my opinion, it's gambling. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. It is mining. That's the only way you can get the Boar tokens is to buy them outright or mine them by participating. But I'm going to leave that choice up to you. But yes, I am diving into these, and I will not be doing videos on all of these, just so you know. I'll put some posts. I'll shed some light on it. But if you have any questions or want more information, reach out to me in the Discord, and happy to help with you. Yeah, happy to help you with them. There we go. English is hard for me. So, Alpha, what do you think of these kind of projects, man? Because, I mean, this is definitely the DeFi gambling phase, but, haven't talked to you for a while, so what do you think when you start seeing things like Ore and Boar and all this crazy stuff?
I didn't even see Ore, so I wouldn't even know what you're talking about. I just saw Boar after I saw it on after you posted it, so I only know of Boar. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm seeing, but okay, I guess.
Wow. Okay, you have been out of it for a while. I can say. CK, I know you have so much to say, man. I know you and Nexus both do, and you would be up here. But we're gonna get you up here in just a second. But there are a couple more things in the crypto world I want to talk about before we swap it over. But yes, biggest thing here, guys, is if you didn't go through the bull market and the long, slow, painful rugs that existed end of 2021, 22, please be aware they are coming back. And most of these projects, if they don't have an actual outside revenue stream coming in, they are absolutely going to slow rug. Never seen one that didn't. If there is one that didn't, please let me know in the chat. I'm sure we could turn all of us loose on it and rip it apart and show that it is. But yes, this is what happens. The markets go bloody. People are looking for a win. DeFi projects are going to pop up. They're going to promise you 2% per day. Or 1,000 APY. I mean, all these scams that look great. Read the white paper, dig into it. And if you can't find an outside revenue source, besides people putting money into a circular ecosystem, it's going to die. Straight up, I haven't seen one yet that exists. Can you guys correct me on that?
Relies only on itself is not a flywheel.
Yeah, exactly.
Easiest way to put it.
It's the spiral of death.
It's just the same money being rinsed with like part of it getting just like sucked out to the team constantly. So at the end of the day, unless there's new money coming in, the pot's going to run dry. That's
Right.
just how these
And the only
things
people
work.
getting richer are the very first ones in or the team.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
If you're not first mover, you're screwed. Don't even bother.
Remind
Go
me
in and
of
or-
like the no days. I don't know if you remember those, like 2021 into 2022.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Dude, I was all over nodes. It was great. I was going to be rich. And
I
then
was
everything
going
died.
to be
Like,
rich,
wow.
yeah.
Shit. That hurt.
Sometimes you'd be like, just 2% for 40 days and I'm good. And then it lost 49 days and you're like, I
Right.
got in on day 5.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is crazy. Yeah, that was forever ago in crypto years, man. I feel you. And that was my first experience of the downtrend of a bull market dying off and a bear market going down. And I mean, that was one of the biggest. You figure we had the pandemic going. We all got stimulus checks. We all had free money. We had time. And all we had was hopes and dreams. We're going to get rich and never go back to work again. And yeah, a whole lot of people lost a whole lot of money. And a lot of the strategies are still there. I look at OR and I look at BOR, and to me, they're the same kind of thing. They call them miners, but they are still gambling. They are a flywheel effect. Essentially, you're using the next person coming in. They are the exit liquidity for you to make profit. So that is the game. Understand the rules before you step into these games. Otherwise, you will get wrecked very fast and very painfully.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, enough on my, I'll get off my preaching podium now. So, now there is one good news, guys. There is a piece of good news, and I like good news. So, I'm going to share this before we jump into the rest, because not all DeFi projects have I lost money on for long term. And I've been sharing this guy with you guys for weeks now, but folks, even as bloody as the market is, last week I got 85 cents. The week before, 59 cents. Still paying, still doing pretty good. So, man, I got to give Various and the crew over there at Monstro absolute shout out, because you may not get rich, but sometimes not losing is winning. And right now in the market, not losing is definitely winning, because everybody's losing.
Very true. It's like, damn. Sometimes it's just hard to just even make anything in that week. And you're like, hey, at least Monster's still paying out every week. Every
Right.
week a little bit. I know some
Yeah.
people are having a little bit of an issue, like where it wasn't showing their payout. But that was just on the front end. I was like, don't worry, bro. You got your payout.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, I've sadly seen that happen to me. Yeah, me too, buddy. And I was actually in the middle of it. I really was. There's several I was absolutely, and I was wholeheartedly in. I was in one crypto project so hard, I got their number on my plates. Everybody remember 100 days? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they had me hook, line, and sinker. They were just reeling me in. I got 100 days on one of my license plates. And, because, man, I was just certain that was going to change my life. Well, we all know how that one played out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you remember too? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same. I was the sucker. And we're going to see that in DeFi. It's going to happen. You're going to have those diehards. They live and breathe that project, and they can never do wrong. They're holier than thou. They walk on the water, and until their dying breath and their last penny, they will argue that it's not a rug. It's not a rug. Man, I've been through it. Most of them, if not all of them, will be slow rugs, fast rugs, or some type of enclosed ecosystem that's a flywheel of death. So please be careful out there. I'm still going to make mistakes. I'm sure I'll still do videos on some that maybe turn out to be a rug. And if so, I apologize in advance. From the knowledge I have and what I have experienced and what I read through the white paper and things, I'll try to sort them out best I can, but I'm only human. So if I do screw up in the future, I do apologize now for my screw up then. Hope that covers it.
Yeah. There's only so much you can do after all. You can
Right.
You can look at what is already existing, but you don't know what the team will actually do. Because there's been a few things that had really good fundamentals, but then the team is kind of the problem. And then, it's just like...
Or the developer that stole the money, or who knows?
Yeah.
I was there with Nexus when it went down. Ooh, you were in the heart of it. Whew. Yeah, those were some trying times. Damn, Ooh, the trauma. Yeah, I still have PTSD from those events.
I don't know. Maybe I was the only one that was like, "Nah, this is gonna go south real quick."
Smarter
then again, I'm
than
very cynical.
you're smarter than I was. I'm a hope kind of person. I always try to think of the positive, and it's burnt me more times than I can count. Now, let's see. Okay, that was my good news. Was pokes. Now it's time for the bad news, guys. So right now, the market, our fear index is sitting at 22. I mean, we are at like subterranean range here. So it says
16.
lots of war stories. Main thing is learn from them. Exactly. Yeah, that is super important. It's okay to get knocked down. It's okay to screw up. It's okay to totally wreck the bus. Learn from it. Make sure you don't make the same mistakes more than once. There's always new mistakes out there to make. So, yeah, gotta learn from it. So, I'm curious. Now, this is one I definitely touch on because, we've seen this fear index go up and down. We have not seen good things or even really glimpsed a future good thing for quite some time now. So, I gotta ask straight up. Let me know in the chat. Do you guys think the bull run is over? Do you think there will be an alt season? Do you think we're just all gonna flat die? Crypto world's over. Come back in 3 years. We'll try it again next time. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. I'm really curious. What do you think, Alpha?
I'm curious too. I would say I think let's take Zcash as an example. There are going to be certain things that are going to rally and rally real hard. So Zcash, I mean, no one saw that come. That just like appeared out of nowhere. It went 0 to 100 real quick.
Oh yeah.
Like what did Zcash do? It's like $600 now. Like that. What? Where did you come from?
Right. Yeah. Zcash is whack. I agree. And while they
were
says
like at what $12? They're at $12 this year still. Now they're at $600. So I think we're going to see it's going to be more of that. Like we're not going to see a whole crypto-wide sort of alt season, you could say, bull run. It would be more specific things that have really strong fundamentals or have a place that will just cement themselves as, okay, this is why we exist now. Zcash is a great example of that. Privacy. It's like it's a chain built on privacy. Tornado Cash was built on the fundamentals that Zcash stands for. A lot of other privacy-focused protocols were built on the fundamentals that was or is Zcash. So it's like we're going to see a little more of that, I would say, where it's going to be very specific alts or projects or whatever infra that's going to really pump, and then that'll be it.
okay. So you think it'd be very specific altcoins, but you're still expecting somewhat of an altcoin season.
Yep, definitely. Okay. I think we've seen that now with Zcash. It's definitely a possibility. Definitely something that's very likely to happen with certain things. Which ones, though, is the real, question mark?
Yeah. So it's almost like throwing dice. Like, I don't know. Let's just paint an altcoin on each one. We'll take the top 20, put them on a 20-sided dice, and just toss it. Yeah, that's what I'm buying. Good enough. It almost feels that way. And Gainsey and Anson pushed.
Yeah,
I would do it.
That and Mert from Solana also pushed like pretty heavily. Like that was crazy. I'm like, Mert pushing a alt layer 1 privacy coin. Okay, cool, I guess. And then people were like, why are you pushing the alt layer 1 coin? And it's like, what do you mean I can push whatever I want? I'm just like, bro, y'all.
Because I have a really big bag. That's why I'm going to push it. And guys, if you don't already know this secret, most content creators, if they're going out and really pushing something, it's because they're holding it. Make no mistake. They are holding some, hoping it'll go up. Just like when I showed you Boar. I told you straight up, yeah, I've got a bag of 8,000 coins sitting there. I'm hoping it goes up. I'm not going to lie to you. It's gambling. Going to tell you straight up how it is. If your content creator or whoever you're listening to or who you're following is not being that direct and honest with you, unfollow, go find somebody who will. Or better yet, do your own research. Don't listen to me or that guy or anybody here. Decide for yourself, because we all screw up. And we're all going to be wrong at some point in time. So the best thing to do is do your own research, decide for yourself. And that way, good or bad, whatever occurs, you are the only one who made the choice. It's like, oh, well, he told me to do it. Because, yeah, Alpha tells me to watch this shit, but I still don't do it. God, no. I go to jail for that stuff.
Probably.
You won't get caught. It'll be fine.
Exactly. If you don't get caught, you can't go to jail. But you know, the
Exactly.
thing with Mitt is weird because he's one of the people that have basically propped up Solana as one of the main developers or infrastructure providers. So it's like, why are you not shilling Solana anymore, man? What's going on? What's going on?
It's already reached its peak, so it's like, no, we got to find something else. So he bought it in low, shilled up, and yeah, a lot of people do that, guys. Make no mistake. I share my referral links. I try to tell you what I'm doing. I try to show you what I'm doing. And if I think something's crap, by the way, I make every project I do a deal with sign a contract, and in there says I can say anything I want. I will be honest directly, whether you like it or not. You pay me no matter what. And so, yeah, just a side note there. Hopefully more people are doing that. And I've seen a lot of content creators go down. Several people that I used to follow no longer have channels. They're rebuilding it. One is Tactical Investing. For some reason, he lost his channel completely. He's rebuilding it as Veteran Crypto. And so I think that's a good thing. But yeah, I've seen a lot of content creators just go belly up because I think they were doing too much hype, too much promotion. And yeah, now they're coming back and they're slamming them down for it. So
Yeah,
be
so,
safe
I mean,
out there.
YouTube did change a lot of its algo, and especially with the AI now actually viewing videos and determining what stays and what doesn't.
Right.
Got them pretty brutal. And funny enough, there's been like a few. I don't know, maybe it's targeted, but there's been a few bigger YouTube accounts that have like kind of been scrapped in essence. Just like removed before a connection to a completely different YouTube account, and I'm just like.
I think they got banned. I think that account got killed. I think AI went back and started searching their shit. It's like, oh, hell no. You violated this 3 times. No strikes. You're just out. Done. Game over. I don't know for sure. That's just my assumption dealing with YouTube. Thankfully, I haven't got any strikes, any bad emails, or nothing bad. So I guess I'm doing things right. I don't know. You guys tell me.
Maybe you're not on the radar yet. Maybe you're not on the radar.
Yeah, I'm not big enough yet. They haven't gotten to us little people yet. It's okay. I don't mind. So, okay. So I know you guys have a lot of things about the crypto space. So we're going to rotate the rotation a little bit because usually about now I bring up Wild Angel and we start diving the topic. But I know we have 2 people backstage that really, really want to comment on the crypto space. So we're going to go a couple more minutes to talk about that to give them an opportunity to share their thoughts. So first of all, let's bring up Mr. Nexus, the man of drama himself.
Yep. Hi, guys. Was literally just putting out drama fires as we speak. I hope everybody is doing well here.
I'm not on fire. That's a win.
That is a win. That is a win indeed.
That is definitely a win.
So give us your 2 cents here, Nexus, man. What do you think is going on? Is this the end, or what do you think is going to play out next? Right now, I have not a clue.
It's the end. We're barely in 2019, right before the pump that destroyed a lot of bears, thinking, oh, Bitcoin's going to 0. It's over. Like, it's so over. And then the pandemic happened. And then the price went from 9,000 to 69,000 in a very short amount of time. A lot of people get scared just because it's dark. But what do we say? It is the darkest just before the dawn. Really, what I feel like is going on is we're retesting longer term moving averages because there were people who were over levered. And the people who are over levered, they get hurt by volatility in either direction. They get hurt the most in downward action volatility. So with what we're seeing now, this is almost certainly mostly the result of over-levered people getting liquidated, and they are absolutely going to be margin called, and they have to sell whatever they can to cover the margins and not lose their entire shirt. And usually what this means for us is that crypto's the first thing to get dumped because it's the most liquid. It's the thing that they can sell 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's always a market. There's always a price. So in that way, we are, as the centralized exchange that wraps itself as a DEX says, we are hyper liquid. Does this mean that the bullish tailwind that has gotten us from 60K to 120K, does that mean that's over? No. It means that we're just in the hard part now. This is the crab. This is where the whole market crab raves. And it's just like, okay, so we've gone way up, but now we're back where we were a month ago, 2 months ago. It's just crabbing. This is the crab, as I call it.
Just keep sliding sideways. You'll be good. Just go with the flow.
Well, in order to, and in a way, it's ironic because if you want to survive a crab market with your sanity intact, then you've got to develop a thicker shell.
Right. Exactly.
It's easy to get emotional because when you look at your wallet value, it's like, oh, I'm losing money.
Right. And, that's when I remind everybody, it's like, did you sell the tokens? Silver coins? Well, no. Then you haven't actually lost anything. Okay, the value of what you have has gone down. You're still holding them. In fact, if you think it's going to get better, then my advice is buy more. You had faith in it to begin with. You've done your research. You know it's a long-term play. Whether it's an altcoin or something like that, something top 20 or 30 coins, acquire more. This is a blue light special. Take advantage of it while you can. Yeah. Don't sit there and think, oh man, my AVAX dropped down to like $15. Like, you know what? A year ago, 6 months ago, I was wishing I could have bought it $16. Now that I can, why aren't I? Ask yourself.
The tailwinds haven't gone away. They're just, it feels like we're becalmed right before the hurricane. Is really the feeling that I'm getting here. Like, as soon as the wind kicks up, as soon as it kicks up, there's nowhere for us to go but up. Like the biggest distance basically that we clear is the distance between now and the moving average from 200 days back. Like that's basically where we have to go. And the longer we stay up, the deeper that canyon gets. And then as that gets skinnier and skinnier and skinnier, eventually there isn't really that much for us to go to retrace to even touch that. And when that happens, people are going to get freaked out. They're going to get scared. It might even go far below that moving average. But what inevitably happens is it comes back. It inevitably comes back because the fiat money tailwind cannot be stopped. The train cannot be stopped. There is no stopping this train.
Agreed. So let's bring CK up because I know he has a few things he wants to touch on real quick before we bring the beautiful lady of the house up. So CK, my man, share some wisdom, brother. What do you think about this market?
Oh, you just threw a bunch of topics at me. Hold on. Which topic would you like me to touch on first?
Hey, you pick, man. Stage is yours for a few minutes. Take a few minutes. Share us your wisdom of your experience in the market and what's going on. What do you think's good, bad? Yeah.
Wisdom. What do you think, right. We'll start with wisdom. So I've been in the space for about 6 years. One of the best things I've learned is you will make bad decisions and you will make friends with bad people. But through the trials and tribulations, you will weed them out. And you'll end up on a space like this 6 years later with real motherfuckers. Excuse my language. Sorry,
that's okay. We're beyond the first 30 minutes, so you can pretty much say whatever you want. AI doesn't go this deep right now. It's okay.
That's the first lesson I'd say. There are actual really good people here in the space that really look out for people. I mean, Nexus, I can't go on with this conversation without shouting out him, and then Serenity and Alpha and everybody, Cyril, he might not be here. He's probably making some music.
I hope so.
Oh yeah, so that's one thing. On the other topic, not many people know. I pretty much got shafted and scammed about 6 months ago. My net worth went from over a couple mil to zero, to negative within about a week. And it was tough. It was not easy, but the help of the gentlemen in the space and gentlewomen and everything. 6 months later, I got a nice, beautiful job back in finance, making more than I'd be happy to make. I'm actually moving a couple states and stuff, and life is back. Life is great, and so like whenever you're in the down, no one's gonna pick you up. So you gotta pick yourself up, find some friends, push forward, and then lean on your friends. That's what I would say. Because the ones that the ones that are gonna leave, they were gonna leave you anyway. The second they stole your money. And then that's when you know how the real people are. And that's really it. I didn't plan the speech. I don't even know why I got put up here, but yeah, that's about it. That's all I gotta say.
Because you're family, man. That's why you're here. Yeah. You're one of the good guys. And so, yes, we definitely, DHC, we try to surround ourselves with good people. And you kind of segued into tonight's topic, which is great, CK. So I covered it, mentioned earlier, but tonight is all about random opportunities. Now, the question is, are they echoes of yesterday's efforts? And this was inspired by Wild Angel. So let's bring her up here. So Wild Angel, how you doing, girl?
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
I finally made it home.
Yay! Yes, for those who didn't know, she was in Kansas City last week, and that's why we didn't have last week's stream, because I went and got her from the airport.
Yeah.
To make sure she made it home safe and to be there when she got off the plane, give a big hug and kiss and all the good stuff. All mushy.
It was great.
So, Wild Angel, so now you kind of picked this topic, so give us some insight. What made you start thinking that random opportunities could actually be rewards for what we've done in the past versus, they're just random? Why aren't they just luck? I mean, what are you thinking here?
Well, I think CK actually touched on it really well with that little bit he shared about what's happened to him in the last 6 months. My question to you, CK, is if that hadn't happened, would you be in the, dare I say, better place?
No.
Or moving forward, a better place?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry to cut you off. I was an asshole. I needed to be humbled. I needed those lessons. I thank God that it happened to me, to be honest with you. I don't care if you believe in God or not, but for me, it was something that I needed to be humbled, and now I sit here and I'm like, thank you for that, for all of it.
That's amazing.
That's impressive. That's one thing that a lot of people don't understand. As I've shared many, many times here, I'm a recovering addict. I will be always in recovery the rest of my life. I've been clean for seven years, something like that.
7 years. We had our birthday this summer.
Oh, did we? Okay, cool. I don't pay attention. I just live every day because every day is another challenge. Every day is another day I could screw up. But I went kind of like CK, you're talking. I mean, I was CEO of a company, was worth millions, wrecked it, absolutely destroyed it, ran it in the ground to where our whole family was homeless. I mean, I screwed it up bad. And I'm thankful for it because that broke the 40-year cycle of who I used to be and taught me so much of who I am today. And if it weren't for that hardship, I wouldn't be the man I am today, nor would my family. So, brother, I feel you. And that's powerful motive that a lot of people don't understand is those horrific things can actually be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, facts, man. Brilliant.
Hey, so Wild Angel, what was your opportunity that triggered your idea to bring this up tonight?
Well, so many of you know I'm in school. I'm doing a lot of stuff. And for work, I've been trying to get my next level designation, my senior insurance regulator designation. And part of that program was something called Practical Manager Program. And I had the opportunity last week to go to Kansas City and participate in that. And it was freaking amazing. It's like the lights went on and the curtains went up and things clicked. It was great because I've had a challenge at the office with somebody. And I took what I learned in that program and came home with immediately actionable steps. It was freaking amazing. Anyway, while I was down there, got an email the last day I was there that one of our supervisors is retiring. In the area I'm in, I am capped out completely. There's no upward motion because in the interest of increasing efficiency, advocated for an upgraded system. Therefore, I don't need a third person. So I kind of shot myself in the foot.
Yeah, nice going.
But talked to some people down at the conference, and they're like, if you don't do it, you're going to regret it. Talked to somebody I consider a mentor in my agency, and she's like, absolutely do this. Apply for the position. I talked to my boss yesterday, who happens to be that manager's boss, and he told me, absolutely, I need to do this. I need to apply for this. Nobody's a shoo-in, but he said, I need to do this.
Nice.
So I've been putting in all this work and trying to gain the skills I need to be a better regulator. And now I have the possibility of moving up. And here's another kicker, Serenity. You didn't know this. I found out yesterday. They're opening the position Monday.
Whoa.
For applications. I thought it was going to be end at first of the year. No.
Damn.
So
It's like streamlining that shit. You're like sliding right in.
I know, it's freaking crazy.
Wow, between you and next, you and CK, man, I feel kind of humbled. I'm still in my studio, so.
That's not for you. I haven't had a chance to tell you, but one of the other classes that I had to take for my designation, I passed the test today, so now I've got 3 out of 4 requirements done, and it's one more trip to Kansas City. And
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm totally smuggling away on the next trip.
Oh yeah, it'll just be an overnight trip, but
Okay.
yeah. So
Hide in a suitcase.
Yeah, big suitcase.
I appreciate it. I've been working hard for this. I've been putting in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And the fact that I came back from Practical Manager with actionable steps, I was so excited. I had to tell my boss right away that I'm like, oh, I know how to fix this. When people don't tell you it's okay to ask, how do you learn? What is your best way to communicate with you? When people don't tell you you can do that, and in our generation, I learned from, I'm the manager, you do it my way or take the highway. They don't, I was that kind of a lead. I was like, okay, you need to do this my way. And then once you know my way, then we can look at other ways. But I didn't know.
Interesting.
And so this week, I sat down and talked with this person on Wednesday. And this is somebody I have a direct working relationship with. And it has been night and day. Either
Really?
I've been in her cubicle or she's been in my cubicle for the last 3 days.
So you're like best buddies now.
We have a collaborative environment now. And all because I was okay to say, hi, we got on a wrong foot. Can we start over? I'm Lynn. I'm your premium tax lead.
There you go.
Mm.
Interesting. It's kind of mind-blowing to a lot of people. Like, wait, can you start over?
I know. Nobody told me I could do that.
I guess it would depend on, I think CK, whoever stole all your funds and everything from way back, I'm sure if they showed up and said, hey, can we start over? You'd probably just set them on fire. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong
Yeah.
there.
Set them on fire.
No, to be honest, you guys, like, listen, I've been through, like, people stealing money, you retaliate, and then they retaliate back and forth, and it ends up bad for everybody. What I've learned in my life is that, like, bad, I don't want to call them delusional psychopaths, but that may be what they are.
I know some of them.
if you take a step back and just let them crash out on somebody else, they usually end up in prison. And then you don't have to be the victim of any sort of situation and fuck up your own life, because you already know the type of person they are, and they are gonna fuck up, right?
Right.
So what I've learned in my years, I'm 32, so like I've been through some decent amount of bad people. it's really best to just let them I don't want someone else to go through it, but someone else is going to, and unfortunately that's just the way it goes. You kind of step back and then you just reevaluate, reset, and then you attack on your own. And that's kind of the way I approached it, and that was really the best way to quickest recovery.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm kind of like you. Once somebody crosses me, I just cut them out of my life. I've always been under the mindset that time is my most valuable asset. And if I acknowledge or spend any time with somebody who has wronged me, I'm wasting more time on a negative result. So I just, no, we're done. Game over. I don't acknowledge. I don't talk. And so it's like my son's girlfriend. She asked me the other day, says, I'm kind of afraid you don't like me.
But you got
Said, am I talking?
your girlfriend?
No, she was worried because I'm such an intimidating person.
Okay.
And she asked me, I'm afraid you guys don't like me. It's like, am I talking to you? Do I stop and sit down and talk to you as a person? Well, yeah. I said, well, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't. You wouldn't be worth my time. She's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Oh, okay, fair enough. And so like last night we had a 2-hour family meeting, just trying to open up and share different thoughts and feelings to try to work through these and to really show that, no, if we care, we make the time. But if we don't care, we ain't got time. That's it. And that's kind of our rule here. Kind of like you, CK, is like, I'm just, I'm not going to waste time going after retaliation. I'm just simply not going to spend the time, and I'm just going to cut you out of my life and game over. We're done. Thank you. Have a nice life. Catch you later.
No, it's beautiful. It's someone, because I finally was able to release a little bit of a site I've been working on. And wait, so can you still hear me?
You're fading out. We lost you, CK.
No, because audio ran away.
I was gonna call them. Can you hear me now?
Barely.
Can you hear me now?
Little better. We're almost to
Little better.
Verizon commercial.
Anybody else see the cell phone commercial? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Wait. Testing.
You're good. Fire away.
Now I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh no.
No, what was I gonna say?
Yes, I remember that commercial. Exactly. Yes. Once I am done, I am done. I agree with you, man. I'm the same way. I was like, nope, game over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so it's like you have to test people, because unfortunately, especially with people hiding behind keyboards, they feel a little more leniency of breaking the law, I guess you could say, but whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so it's like you feel it out, and then you just kind of push through, and that's about it, really. I had a really much better point, but the phone call totally sequestered me. So.
I like it. So now this is really interesting because Nexus, now, man, you spend your whole time behind a keyboard working with problems. I mean, horrific events, people's getting thieved and wrecked.
Yeah.
So, I mean, man, how do you even survive that? How do you help the other people survive that? Because that's got to be rough, buddy.
Yeah, it is rough. Honestly, I have to carve out more time for myself than I perhaps am able to do, or feasibly can do when I'm constantly working in startup freelance and that sort of thing. It's very exhausting. It's very easy to get burned out. One of the reasons why I got burned out this year was because of the dark web stuff. The dark web stuff was just so heinous and so dark that it was, I cannot even verbalize some of the things that I saw.
Yeah, no, please don't.
Hurting monetization. It was so dark.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to actually imagine that other people would use the internet to do such heinous things or convince other people to do heinous things. But it happens. And when I'm sitting on the horn with a guy, for example, this week we had a guy who was basically socially engineered in a manner of speaking, and now he's being threatened with doxing and a harassment campaign. publicly, like very publicly. And accompanying this blackmail is extortion requests. What's the extortion request? Well, it's very specific to this person, but essentially the extortion request is politically and professionally kill yourself.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty traumatic.
Yeah. Like, and obviously I'm reducing the request down to a very generic something that cannot be identified, but that's
Right.
that's
Thank you.
in essence what the individual is being told they need to do in order to prevent the damage that they're being threatened with. And basically I had to sit down with this guy and like, okay, so here are our options. Here's what you can do to shut this down or stop it. Here's the varying degrees of effectiveness, and here's the order of them from least expensive to most expensive. Basically, the most expensive option this guy has is, oh, well, we put a lawyer on retainer and we start sending cease and desist letters.
Ouch, that gets pricey fast.
Yeah. Yeah, that gets expensive really quick. So, but there are other options this guy has other than immediately running to an attorney and saying, "I need to put you on retainer. We're being my family's being harassed on the internet." There are other options because it hasn't been that long, but doxing is actually considered a crime, or threatening to dox someone is considered a crime. Let's say the information about who Serenity and Wild Angel are was not public information. Let's say that was not publicly known. Well, if I threatened to make that information public, unless you paid me money, I've committed a crime. I've committed a federal crime by doing that.
Wow.
I
That's
didn't know
kind of
that.
cool.
Yeah, it hasn't been a crime, but for a couple of years. Because there are people who have been prosecuted essentially for this specific type of extortion, which is to say, like, you're a famous internet personality whose handle is known, but your name, your address, your exact location, a bar or a VFW you're a member of, all of that stuff might not be public information. Well, if somebody takes that information and without your permission or your consent makes it super public, like say I minted it onto the Bitcoin blockchain, for example. Well, then I take that mint and then I link it on Kiwi Farms. Well, now I've basically handed your entire everything about you, everything that couldn't need to be known, to the exact unhinged groups of people who would be most likely to use that information in some capacity. Now, this is dangerous just for a Twitch streamer, like somebody who plays video games for a living. Can you guys imagine how dangerous this is for those of us in crypto?
Right.
Because we have a key. We have keys. And if somebody shows up at our house going, "I saw you on live stream showing off your wallet. I know you have that key. Give me the key, or I will just beat you in the head until you give it to me." Like, I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff that this opens up. Basically, new vectors for old school crime that you don't even think about until, oh my gosh, I'm reading a news story about a Dubaian prince who allegedly scammed a bunch of people but ended up beheaded in the middle of the desert.
Damn. And that's there's a whole lot of the eye for the eye justice, things like that a lot of people believe in. And instead of going down that avenue, I want to flip the coin on this, because now Nexus, going to put you on the spot here again, because I like to do that. You know me. You've seen a lot of bad. How often have you seen people who have fought through, rebuilt and been resilient and have kind of, let's say, golden opportunities like Wild Angel and CK were talking about, kind of fall into their lap because of striving through and working through it? Have you heard many stories of that?
Absolutely. It's just that nobody really wants to hear about those because it's all like, oh, human interest, and it's this
it's
other
mushy.
person is one, and it's mushy. People like there's an old story of William Randolph Hearst's many newspapers where he used to say to his editors, "If it bleeds, it leads.
I've heard that before.
He said that because he knew you're not going to want to buy a newspaper that says wholesome New York Staten Island man rebuilds life after startup meltdown, right? Like, that's not as interesting an article to want to buy. I don't want to buy that newspaper. But if the story is Staten Island man almost murdered in crypto startup drama, details below, then you want that newspaper. And that's how yellow journalism works. But I have always tried, like, to the best of my ability, to write crypto stories about positive human interest, like gridless compute, helping villages afford to run refrigerators in sub-Saharan Africa. That stuff is awesome. Beyond that, in my community, Nexus, you can tell my story if you like. Hey, a chatter has opened the door. All right, so that chatter is a moderator in my Discord server. That's Cyber Unicorn.
Hi, Cyber Unicorn.
Cyber Unicorn's story is, in essence, that she was leaving a very bad marriage. And as a result, money was divided, assets were divided. Like, she was lucky to basically have a car and custody of the children that she has. He clipped her financial access way early in that process, so she was essentially destitute. And when she managed to get away, there was a period where she was living in a very cheap rent-controlled apartment that unfortunately was being shuffled between private equity property managers. And in this shuffle, a lot of her details were lost, a lot of her rental history was lost, and the building was not properly maintained or kept up to code. So because of that, she was non-eviction evicted from the apartment over code violations, not on her part, mind you. This was entirely due to people essentially not doing their job, property managers not taking control and containing the apartment. So in that context, she was kicked out, and she had a car and a little money and no job because the apartment itself made her so sick, her job fired her.
Oh, damn.
Yes.
That's horrible.
So she's going around applying for jobs. Her car gets totaled. This is where her rock bottom struck. She has no car. She has very little money. And the question becomes, how is she going to stay afloat? Where is she going to stay? Because
where are you going to live?
She had enough money left that she couldn't stay in the homeless shelter. She could not, even in good conscience, take her child into a homeless shelter. So what was she going to do? Well, me, a few community managers, and a couple of other people banded together. We got her a little money together, and that was enough to keep her in an extended stay hotel for about 2 or 3 months, which was about total. The expenditure was about $700 or $800. But in that time, while she was there, she was not out in the cold for the winter. She had a roof. She had Wi-Fi. She could apply for jobs. And that's exactly what she did.
You go, girl.
I love it.
And she definitely didn't have to worry about being separated from her special needs son, because the shelters wanted to institutionalize her special needs son as a condition of her going in there. And she was like, no, why would I do that? I can take care of him. Like, that's not necessary. So we spared her that. She is now in a clean apartment. She has now worked for 1.5 years, going on 2 years, at the same company, which is a renowned military and police industrial supply company. So her job is as safe as it can be. All she has to be is diligent, and that job will still be here come inflation or deflation, no matter what happens. And
Nice.
most importantly, and perhaps the best part of it all, the car, which was totaled, has now been replaced with a better car with a very low interest rate comparatively to other auto rates, and she is paying more than the lowest minimum payment, so she will own the car in record time.
Woohoo.
Nice.
W- And to top it all off, she just got a raise at work. She went
I love
from
it.
homeless to housed, jobbed, and card in basically under 1.5 years.
Way to
which
go,
is-
girl.
There you go.
One of the biggest success stories I got for you.
I love it. No, that is great. And, I agree. That's what we need to hear more of, because right now, especially in life, I mean, here in the U.S. and everywhere, there are so many people in situations like this. I mean, there's more and more layoffs. Things are getting worse and worse. And, CL, that is so sweet, man. And next, thank you for sharing that. CL, thank you for letting him share. Very much appreciate that. As my friends and community. And, that's a big key. And that was the other thing that kind of triggered tonight's topic of these opportunities. Sometimes we think they're random, but, they're really not. They are, I believe, that they are rewards for the hard work, for whatever we've endured in the past. Those times when we held a door. Maybe we're late to get somewhere, but we still hold the door for an elderly person. We take the time to give a duck out to somebody who said, we just use manners, just being polite. Hey, please, thank you. Hey, have a nice day. Taking that few extra seconds here and there, I think that absolutely paves the way for future opportunities. Now, I told you earlier about my son's girlfriend, Kai, and if I think she's listening, and if she would like to crash the party, she's welcome to tell her side of the story. But she was the reason we had our family meeting last night, because I got to sit down and talk with her a little bit, but Mom hadn't. And so, I said, okay, we need to have a family meeting, so everybody will be here after dinner. They're like, oh, God. Usually when Dad calls family meeting, somebody's going to die. Okay, we're going to go hide a body because somebody screwed up. But no, this was just the opposite. And it was really to get her together and say, hey, look, I know you're having a lot of problems at your house. I know you and your parents don't get along. I know there's a lot of trauma, a lot of tragedy going on there. And I wanted to give her an opportunity to tell her story, what's going on, and bring the whole family up to speed. And in the end, we had a group hug in the living room. She got in the middle, and the girls hugged her, and then the boys hugged the outside and said, okay, this is what a family's like. You have layers of protection. You're not alone. And I think that is so important. And so, Nexus, just like you're doing there, it's good to know there's communities and people in this world that are trying to make a difference, because so often we feel like we're fighting at a lonely battle and that there's nobody there. But the truth is there is. And, there's people like Nexus, Alpha, Wild Angel, CK, myself. You've got communities like Down Home Crypto, and where you can go. And I guarantee somebody's there is willing to listen, to help, and to help you through your situation. As long as, I think part of it is, as long as it's not a self-inflicted, if you weren't the guy who were making these threats, then yeah, we're probably going to let you burn straight up. Not going to lie to you about that.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys feel the same way? If they're the instigator, do you think y'all just stand back and let them burn? Or is that just me?
I would do that. I definitely let them burn. I'd be there with the popcorn. It's like, yes, go ahead.
I could totally see that.
We love the so chaos.
So now, Alpha Cruz, now you're in kind of you're in South America, as we talked about. You guys have a different way of doing life and things like that. So, I'm kind of curious about your guys' philosophy of karma and, does good energy come back and things like that? Is that something you guys believe in and practice down there? Is that a whole different mindset, or, what's it like down there?
Now we definitely do. We're definitely part of the karma's gonna come get you. We are very much a proponent for that. It's like, you'll always be like, oh, he did that? Okay, I don't worry, karma's gonna get him. Whether that karma be me, my friend, or it just happens to be the universe, it doesn't matter. Karma's gonna come around.
So if you and your friend show up at my front door and you're sitting there with a bowl of popcorn, I know I'm screwed. Is that what you're telling me?
Basically,
Fair enough.
But yeah,
Good to know.
over here in South Africa, we definitely believe in karma. Whether karma happens to be a person or the universe is the real question, because South Africans are a little violent. I'll just put it like that.
Sounds
A
like
little.
it.
Just a
So-
little, you know.
Okay. So now everybody looks at karma as a negativity. So Wild Angel, do you think there's such thing as good karma as well? Or is karma just associated with bad?
No. You get what you give. If you give bad, you're going to get it back threefold. However, if you put out positive in this world, you know, I totally believe in random acts of kindness. From little tiny ducks up to paying for somebody's groceries in line, or buying the guy behind me a coffee at Dutch Bros. You know, things like that. It's just those little things. One, it makes their life better. And two, okay, I prepay karma a little bit. You know, I put out the good. So hopefully on a day when I'm not having a good day, karma doesn't take too much back.
An IOU for karma. I got to work on that one.
she can be a total wench.
Oh yeah,
But-
psycho wench.
She can be. But overall, I put out more good than I do bad. And so I believe I will get that back. So things like that random email saying, hey, somebody's retiring. I feel bad that they're retiring, and I know they don't want to. There's just some issues there. But it's my opportunity to step up and prove that I am worthy of that level. So, you know, it's one of those things. Is it fate? Is it random opportunities that are the echoes of yesterday's efforts? Hell yeah, I've put my time in. I've put some blood, sweat, and tears into this. And so I am getting this opportunity because of what I've done and the work I have put in. Because I guarantee you, my boss would not have said, I challenge you to apply. He says, go for it, do it. He wouldn't have done that if he didn't think I was capable.
Right, and that makes sense. And
So,
now
yeah.
that brings about a question, though. So, CK man, I hope you're still there. I haven't fallen asleep on me yet. 'Cause, yeah. Okay, your next one I'm going to pick on because you said something earlier where all this tragedy, all this bad stuff happened, and you needed it to happen. So it sounds like it's a good thing, but I'm sure, kind of like I was in my addiction, I did a lot of bad things, things I can never take back. I can't remedy what I broke. I can try, but I often felt that I deserved a lot more bad karma, yet I got good karma. So I'm curious, did you go through that same kind of struggle where when you're trying to go from a bad person to a good person, do you live forward and you still kind of worry about, but I did all this stuff wrong. Do you still think that you can get good karma, or are you always waiting for that other shoe to fall?
So that's a loaded question.
Thank you. I tried.
So like, yeah, in the beginning, you feel like you owe, right? And you gotta give back. But then and then there becomes an equilibrium, I would say, where it's like, all right, like I gave back enough at a certain point. It's like, you're not the only bad person. Most people are bad, honestly. Or have selfish instincts. You can say that whether that's bad or not is up to you. But most people put themselves above others. And that's just a fact. Blatantly. 99% of the people in this room would put themselves before others. That's just the way life goes.
Right.
So karma is a very it's not really defined. It's really defined by the I would say the perception of the person. And
Okay.
then once you can step out of that and look at perspective, so like say my perception of karma might not be the same as Alpha's or Wild's or Nexus's. But if I can look at their perspective and see their reality, and then you can start to it's not just you guys, anyone in a room, and you can realize, okay, this is their reality, this is my reality, this is what they see as bad, this is what I see as bad. This is like, you know what I mean? And it takes a very, very long time, and I'm not perfect at it either. But trying to basically be respectful of everyone's rights and wrongs and moral codes. I'm taking out the outliners that are like serial killers. You know what I mean? No, you can't really relate to them.
No.
But when you're able to come up with like a unified thing, then it's like yes. I think I put my time in on the bad, and then I also think I put my time in on the good. I continue to put my time in on the good, just because that's what I think I'm here for. But I hold no guilt, no anger, none of that. I think I'm past that.
And that's powerful. And that's what I really wanted to hear. And I really wanted you to explain to the audience, everybody there, because I've shared my story of being an addict and always through recovery and the darkness and stuff. But a lot of people think that, oh, that's just Serenity's story. But really, I think it's everybody's story. I think everybody has something in their past that they regret. They feel bad for it. They're waiting to get caught, whether it was stealing bubblegum when they were 5. I found a Chuck E. Cheese machine open when I was like 5 years old, I think. And I sat there and played games the whole time. And yeah, I had to go back and apologize, tell them which game it was. But I still worry about things I did as a little kid. But like you're saying, CK, at some point in time, you've got to forgive yourself and say, hey, look, you put in your time, you paid your dues, you've lived the right way, or what you believe to be the right way. Whether Bob thinks it is, or Carol over there thinks it is, that's irrelevant. You lived the best of your ability. And I think at that point in time, you need to forgive yourself. And that's something that people don't talk a lot about, but it needs to be explained. Because I think everybody... Sorry, good.
No, I was just saying it. And like, to be able to sleep at night, like,
Right.
you need to be able to forgive yourself. And then just do the best that you can.
Right.
That's it.
No, I think that's great. And man, CK, I'm so glad you brought that up because I was kind of hoping you were going to go that way. So I kind of manipulated the question that way. So thank you for going along on the crazy journey.
You're good at doing that.
Thank you. I do try.
I'm happy to do much.
I'm happy to have you here, brother. Because I mean, the big thing is all of our stories are so unique and we're all in different walks of life, different perspectives, and whether it's different geographically or religious, nationality, age, sex, everything, it doesn't matter. None of that shit matters. All that matters is who you are, because you are special. And we've tried to always make sure up here on Freaky Fridays we cover some of that, and we show the darker side, the lighter side. We go down the rabbit hole of crazy, and we go down the strategic, and kind of everything. So now, Nexus, of course, you are the one that is just encapsulated in negativity all day, every day. And I'm curious, these people, you're going to deal with probably directly with some of these people who have rugged or scammed or done something. Have you had situations where you found out later that was just out of ignorance? Didn't know any better. They didn't know what they were doing. They hired a dev and it just wrecked it. And, have you been able to forgive or find a way to resolve those issues?
I was gonna say no. That's where things get a little crazy because we deal every day in some cases with bad business management, and it is actually not a crime to take an investor's money, invest it in something, and then everything goes belly up. That is not a crime. That is a business failure. Like, you have failed. You lost your money, the investor's money. It is over. You lost everybody's money. That is failure. Failure and fraud, from the investor's perspective, very hard to differentiate. Right? In crypto, there are very many founders who would found a thing or work very hard on a thing only to have it destroyed from the outside by something that they could not control. Then their money is gone, their investors' money is gone, and the business has no way to continue. When that happens, the investors will tend to point at the founder and go, "You screwed us, you defrauded us." And the founder will have no choice but to be like, "Look, I ain't got no money in my bank account, I ain't got no money in my wallet. My exchange account has 2 Bitcoin pennies, maybe 2 grand. This is all that I have in the world, and this was what I had personally." So if you thought I stole from you, you are wrong. I did not steal from you. And I have seen founders go through that waltz with their communities. And even worse, you have key opinion leader types and key opinion leader agencies now, who, for example, will come up to you and say, "Now, Mr. Serenity, if you give us just $20,000, $30,000, we'll offer you incredible promotion. We'll drive up engagement for your Discord server. We will get people to invest in you." And you're sitting here like, "Well, yeah, but I don't want to give you $25,000. Like, what if you don't do any of that? Then I've given you $25,000. You didn't deliver me what you promised, and I'm out $25,000. That is how so many key opinion leaders are doing projects these days. They're taking your money, they're having 50 bot Twitter accounts put you out, and then they're like, "Okay, we did it. That was our deliverable. Congratulations. We tweeted about you. I hope you're satisfied, and we definitely hope you come again."
And you're not wrong. I remember last bull market stuff, or it was coming down, and I was just getting started with Down Home Crypto, trying to get this channel going, trying to get monetized. And I know this KOLs out there, and they were charging $5 grand for a 30-minute video, and it was just a live introduction. And I'm not going to call any names up, but there was one, and he would have somebody on like every other day, and I know he was charging minimum $5 grand just to show up. And he would have no idea what the hell the project was. You could tell on his face. He did no research. It's just, "Okay, hey, we got so-and-so here, so tell us about your project." And he's sitting there like, "Okay." Like, "Oh, wait, does that mean this does this?" Guy had no clue. Like, dude, seriously? And it drove me insane. I would spend days researching a project for a video, and I see these people doing this. I'm like, really? And it's scary that exists.
Terrifying, actually.
So, and I think you made a very important point there, Nexus, that the difference between failure and fraud is very, very different. Now, curious though, have you had somebody who actually did a rug pull or something like that? They did something nefarious, but were able to come back from it to set things right and say, "Hey, that was wrong. I want to make that right." How often do you hear about something like that, bud?
Well, I mean, the difference between what the founder says and what the founder does and or ends up doing are two very different universes, two very different ball games. The guy who rugged the Melania Trump token and the Argentina Libra coin, he said he was going to get everybody back who lost money on those. Didn't get anybody back. Suzu, who was part of Three Arrows Capital and contributed a lot of AVAX rugs during that cycle's altcoin run a couple of years ago. He came back with another version of Three Arrows Capital that was financed by a meme coin treasury. I'm not making any of that up. A lot of people think he was redeemed. Just as many of us think that he's still a shyster and an asshole. Because you can't sue me if I call you an asshole.
No. That's an observation. It's okay.
Yeah. So that's one. And then there were so many other examples of business owners who screwed it up and then would come to me personally and say, can you bail me out? Like I've screwed up. I need you to bail my sunken ship out, and if you can, please get it above water and sail worthy once again. And every single one of those people I told, I can make you no promises, but I can make an effort to try to bail out your underwater ship.
Turned into a submarine.
Yeah. That's a very common result. It's like, okay, this whole thing is underwater. Well, now we gotta find a way to navigate in a high pressure environment with no oxygen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I describe it. Actually, it is a lot like trying to pilot a sunken ship that has been converted into a submarine with a Pirates of the Caribbean tier skeleton scumbag crew. Honestly.
Perfect. I love it. I can actually visualize that. That's kind of creepy. And so, you know, I'm not going to get that image out of my head all night. It's going to be great. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to walk around Pirates of the Caribbean going through my head. It's like, okay, I'm waiting. Somebody's watching this in my house, and I'm going to go out and they're going to have like a pirate patch on or something. Like, you stop it.
Yeah, it's like Pirates of the Caribbean 42, The Hunt for Red October Boogaloo.
I love it. I love it.
I think
So,
my chair.
it's always fun on Fridays here. But we are running out of time, guys. It is getting close to the end here. And, you know, the real topic here was we've heard different examples of where, you know, even though we may have been a bad person, maybe we have done some bad things, and we've gone through things like I spoke about recovery and addiction and all that. I did some real bad shit. But still able to come out on top. And so no matter where you are in life, there is still a possibility to pull yourself out. And so I don't want anybody to feel like they're hopeless or alone in this. Because I guarantee between us on stage and the people in both our communities, we probably have somebody who has been in your situation or something very, very similar, possibly even worse, that can probably advise or even just support you through it. And sometimes that's all you need is the right support. And that's one thing that I don't think we have enough of. I think our technology has isolated us so much. We're afraid to show our emotions. We're afraid to say, man, I'm terrified to talk to this person. Can you come with me? Or, you know, I don't know how to go to talk to my boss or talk to somebody, a coworker that I've been fighting with for 6 months, and they just wrote me a bad eval, and I don't know how to talk to him without killing him. And so that happened for Wild Angel. Just like CK, man, you were like down in the dumps. I know you've been going through some rough times. Now all of a sudden, out of the blue, good karma strikes. Like, damn, okay, so all that work, all that positivity I put in the universe has come back to me. And you know, I just think too many people think that it's hopeless and there is no light at the end of the tunnel, or maybe they can't even tell they're in a tunnel. I can tell you from experience, from all of us, there is a light at the end of that tunnel. So never feel like you're alone. Because hey, if nothing else, reach out to me, Wild Angel, CK, Alpha, Nexus, anybody in the community, anybody in the audience. I guarantee these are the people that want to help and they want to listen because they've been through this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say I've made a fabulous connection tonight. Me and
Awesome.
Cyber Unicorn are sitting in Discord. Back and forth.
You know, I was thinking, Cyber Unicorn, you said that you really like Project Duck Depression. Now, guys, if you haven't heard of Project Duck Depression, I don't know how, because they are one of the coolest places ever. So if you would, do me a favor, go out and give them a follow, a like, and find out what Project Duck Depression is all about. Because for the simple act of just leaving a little duck, you can change somebody's life. So click on the link and go follow them. But Cyber Unicorn, I got something especially for you. So since you're connecting with Wild Angel, I'm going to give this to her to make sure it makes it to you. I happen to have a little duck unicorn. So, Wild Angel, I am donating this duck and apparently her bags of ducks. As you tell, we are big supporters. This has to go to Cyber Unicorn, please.
Okay, Cyber, send me your address.
Okay. We will make sure
And we'll
that
send
duck
you
is delivered.
pizza. I will tell you, when I was in Kansas City, an entire bag of ducks went to Kansas City.
Yeah!
I was there for 4 days. I came back with 2.
That's just because you couldn't find them.
No, they got lost in my backpack. They fell
See,
out.
you couldn't find them.
I spread them all over the NAIC building. I left them in the airport. Oh my God, in the
It's
hotel.
everywhere.
I had one lady, I said, I walk up because she's sitting there, she's the receptionist, and she's just kind of like kicking it at the end of the day. And I walk up and I'm like setting ducks. And I said, here, you've been ducked. And she just looks at me and then starts laughing. And then I told her what the ducks were all about. Okay. So the next day I go upstairs and I'm leaving a couple more. And she goes, oh my God, where do I get ducks? And she had given, and I had left her because she was so excited about it, I left her a whole handful. I left her a big handful the second day so that she could spread the ducky love. So, yeah.
Awesome. I love it. So, and by the way, Cyber Unicorn, I do want to give you a story on this duck because this is one of a few that I brought back from Denver when I went to East Denver, and I got to go meet Ashley and Celie and her children, spend time with their family. This is one of the ducks they give me. So it is one of the special ones. I do have several more, but I believe in paying positivity forward. So I would like to share the gift to me to be a gift to you. And I hope that you find somebody in the future who needs that ray of sunshine and let them know that, hey, they're a good person. No matter what happens, they can pull through and you pass it on. So let's make this the magic duck that changes lives. So,
Yep.
Celie, Ashley, this is going to be going to Cyber Unicorn in her adventures, and she will continue to pay it forward.
Yep. Yeah, you'll see Mum of Minions in our chat. That's the mum of the
Minion.
young man that decided we needed the bigger ducks.
Yep. And I've got more ducks back there. They always sit right here in the studio on my cubes there. So, yeah, I've got the Franken duck. Oh, they're right there on top of the camera. So, Celia is always represented here in the studio. So, guys, that about wraps up our evening. But, we've covered a lot of different topics from crazy crypto world, and we started with the hardship and the bloodshed, moved to the positivity, we've gone through the hope aspect. So, let's move to the wisdom. So, if somebody out there is struggling, if they've got a situation, maybe they feel underwater, they feel confused, overwhelmed, or whatever it could be, share some of your wisdom that you've learned in this life with them to hopefully shine a little bit of light. So, we'll go counterclockwise this time. I'll start with Nexus because I know that man is always ready with a response.
I try to be, but it depends on the kind of people actually need on a moment-by-moment basis. I'll say this. My DMs and multiple chat rooms are filled with existential doom and anxiety. It's all over the place. It feels like it's spreading like a plague. And I have to reiterate that if you are a young person who's scared, anxious, doesn't know what the world looks like, and your gut reaction is to do terrible things, to starve yourself, to harm yourself, you are seeking a change in your emotional state, and you are seeking unhealthy routes in order to achieve that. I'm not going to give you a lecture on how that's bad and it's unhealthy. You already know that. What I would suggest that you do is recognize that the future is unwritten. You, me, every one of us are our own little Sarah Connors. We're all sitting here staring at Skynet, wondering if it's going to erase our existence. That's not it's normal to feel like that, but it's not the healthy response. It's not the healthy way to respond to this. The healthy way to respond to this is to sit down, take a deep breath, and say, no matter what comes, come what may, I can and will adapt.
Well said. I like that. And that's important. So, Alpha, I know you might be paying attention. I don't know. You got something ready?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Just meditate, man. Just meditate. Mindful meditation. I like to keep things simple, so that's my way of going of how I would say people should just try to get through things. Mindful meditation is probably one of the most simple yet powerful tools for recentering yourself to making sure that you are, on the path that you need to be. Sometimes just being mindful itself is the biggest part of that. But once you add that meditation aspect, oh my goodness, it does wonders. It does absolute wonders. Simple but effective.
I like it. Simple's good. Absolutely. What you got, Wild Angel?
First of all, don't let cats get a hold of the damn yarn.
Yes.
Point
Savage.
blank. Don't let
Yes.
the cat get the yarn. I had to take out a whole section of my new blanket because they knotted it so badly. So just don't.
Fair enough. Okay.
Don't forget you're alone. No, don't. Oh, God.
Whoops, that came out wrong.
We have been doing the Willy Wonka backwardsness all day at work, and it is apparently carrying on. Don't forget you're not alone. There's always
gonna
somebody.
say.
You can always connect with somebody. There's a million people in a million communities. Find somebody you can connect with. In an age of hyper-connectedness, a lot of people feel extremely alone, which seems backwards, but it's not. We are connected through avatars and through just blank screens. It's not real connection until you make it real. So when in doubt, talk it out with somebody. You are valuable. Everybody is valuable. So,
Well
love you
said.
guys.
Okay, CK, what you got for us, brother?
Yeah, basically, I would like to say, there's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in success. And there are many things about that. One of the beauties of the struggle is you get to see who the real people are and your real friends are. Who aren't like when you're in the success, I'm not making money just to loan it to you. I have my own life, right? So like I value most importantly in my life the troughs, and when I got to see who was real and who was not. So don't ever take them as why me. Take it as let's do it. God put me here to fucking do it. That's it.
Love it. Dude, and that is so powerful. And, all the wisdom here is so critical and so important is make connections. Make sure that you're not alone. And remember that you're not alone in this world. And even though there are so many areas of just dystopian, we're all going to die kind of concept, sometimes you got to meditate and just breathe through it. And super important there. And yes, the hardships, as bad as they are, and we've all been through some traumatic things, that's when you're really going to see the shining stars. Those who really stand up and say, hey, don't worry, I got your back. Those are the ones you surround yourself with. And the trick is they're the quietest ones when you're succeeding because they don't want to be the ones saying, hey, can I have a handout or something? So while you're in your moment of success, look for the quiet ones in the back of the room who have always been there and always stood the ground, whether you were rich or poor, or doing good or doing bad. The quiet ones that are there are the ones that are truly got your back. So just remember, you're not alone. And if you need someone to talk to, jump in one of our communities, whether it's Down Home Crypto or
Wolves.
Nexus. Thank you.
Wolves of Wall Street, baby. Wolves of Wall Street. All good.
I could see the icon. I could see it. I know where it is on my disc. Yes, Wolves of Wall Street or Down Home Crypto, either one. I guarantee you'll find somebody to connect with. And don't be afraid to say so, because that's one of the worst things you can do is stay quiet. Because everybody suffers in quiet, and we don't know, we can't help. So take the courage to share what's going on, because that's what true courage is. Not being strong, it's being vulnerable. So I love you all, and we will catch y'all next Friday. Have a great weekend.
Night.
Bye, guys.
I've walked through the fire.